When most people think about sea level rise in South Florida, they think about the beach and how one day the ocean's waves will cover our city. Unfortunately, that may not be the only problem facing South Florida, as our fresh water supply in the Everglades may be affected way before the city is covered in water.
We have a water control system here that was built over many years, starting in the early 1900s when they first dug the Miami Canal and the St. Lucie Canal and the Caloosahatchee Canal, and well, that was actually in the late 1800s they built that one. These are all to try to get the water out of the Everglades. And our system of canals and dikes and levees that we have now is evolutionary of the initial idea, which was to drain it.
So historically what happened was fresh water from the north, Lake Okeechobee, moved down through the south, through the Everglades, basically filling up the Everglades and creating a very large wetland that sort of went up during the rainy season and down a little bit during the dry season, and sort of acted like a pump. When the water was really high, lots of water flowed through, creating all kinds of habitat, but also pushed fresh water down into the groundwater, which is where we get our drinking water. As we've done more and more agriculture, human development up north, we've used more and more of the water. Much less of the water gets out of Lake Okeechobee, much less of the water from the north comes down to the Everglades. And the water that does come down is now highly polluted because a lot of the water is going through agricultural fields, through sugarcane fields, etc. What we currently face is an Everglades that is probably about a third or a quarter of its historic depth and volume of water. So as the depth of the Everglades goes down, the pressure pushing down also goes down. As sea level rises, as sea level goes up, the pressure of salt water being pushed under the ground goes up. And so we're losing pressure to hold fresh water down, and we're increasing the pressure to move salt water up.
The largest problem that Miami has, as well as all of South Florida and the Everglades, is that we sit on porous limestone. And so unlike in some places like in New York, where you could build a seawall to help, or in places like in the Netherlands, right, where they have windmills that pump out water, right? We can't really do that in South Florida because the water just seeps into and through the limestone and up. So one of the biggest threats we're facing right now, or one of the biggest immediate threats, other than just rising waters, is the salinization of fresh water. Once that happens, there's no fresh water, no crops, arid land, game over.